What is up, everybody? We're going to be jumping into this video right here. This is going to be a merging issue. We talked about this briefly in the full crash compilation video, but I think it's very important to kind of go over this one. So it didn't seem like it was very much of an issue, right? It didn't seem like we were dealing with, a life and death situation, but kind of we were, because the problem is that if we get into a crash, we're in a bad spot because we don't have a ton of protection. And that's why we are supposed to be acquiring and using personal protective equipment and then rescuing each other just in case there's a crash. So grab some gear. There's some links in the description for Revzilla, but we're going to jump right into this one right here. So we're here. We're like, okay, they're going to go ahead and stay in this lane. Okay, so remember, when we talk about planning our ride, and that's what we're really focusing on when it comes to these after action reviews, is that we need to constantly just keep putting ourselves in a good position for safety, which is basically a position for success, because it's going to allow you to have more time. It's going to allow you to have better vision. You're planning your escape routes. And since you're constantly reevaluating the situation, you're putting yourself in an oriented state. You're grounded to the situation. You're grounded to the reality of what's happening here. And that's being in yellow stage. You're zoned in. So it's really good when it comes to planning your ride. Okay. So locating hazardous situations. We know that intersections, like this person right here is coming out, is a hazardous situation. We have a sign right here. It's an orange sign. It is letting you know something's happening. And guess what? It's an intersection coming up. So we should be prepped and ready for orange stage anyways. And what we do with orange stage is that we are covering those brakes. Okay, covering that front brake, covering the rear brake with our foot. We're also looking for those escape paths from maybe engine braking just a little bit, and that's going to allow us to have some weight on that front tire. So if we have to make an emergency swerve, we can do that with more weight on that tire. So right here, we have kind of the side of the vehicle. Okay, if we want to go back just a little bit. So we got the side of the vehicle. We've got the side of the vehicle right here. Okay, so we see that. That's a possibility of this person just saying, hey, I'm going to go all the way into the trees. Well, it's going to be in our path because we're coming into here. They're supposed to go in that first available lane, but they decided to go into the turn lane. Okay, not a bad deal, but we see this pretty well ahead. We do have a vehicle in our mirror, so we can't necessarily just cut this person off to allow this person in. So what we might have to do in this situation is roll off that throttle for engine braking, maybe do some progressive braking, because they're going to want to come in and they're going to go. But the main thing here is that we're prepping ourselves for them just taking that spot. Okay, we're not just saying, hey, we're going to roll up the throttle and apply progressive braking so that they can get in. That's what I like to do. That's defensive driving. But we're doing it anyways because if they decide to take it, we're already prepped for it. That's the main thing, is that we're already prepped and primed and positioned for safety. Okay, so right here, oh, it looks like they went over that line. So we definitely need to be doing something. So now that our position is closer to them, we don't have the massive space cushion that we originally had. Now we have an area where we can swerve right. Hey, the truck's in our mirror still. We can, go straight, might collide with the back of this truck. What do we do? Well, this is where we have to be really good with our braking. Okay, we practice smart rider drills. We practice slow speed stuff, but at the end of the day, you need to practice your braking. So just all it is progressively. Just squeeze until you have some weight on that front tire, and then you can squeeze even quicker, but it's still smooth. It's not a smash from 10 to 1. It's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can do that quicker and quicker with more practice. So right here, it's like, okay, we kind of have an escape path. It looks like they kind of see us because they would have taken that whole lane. Kind of weird, but we still should be slowing ourselves down because we're buying ourselves time. It's going to get to a point where everyone's kind of slowed and it almost comes to the stop and like, what are we doing? I'd rather do that than go like, boom, what happened? If that makes sense. I'd rather us be like, what are we doing here? Still annoying, but that's just life. So at this point, it looks like they saw us. That's why we put our hand up and now we can start yelling. We still are way too close. Well, if this person's like, hey, there's a vehicle right in front of them in that turn lane that we didn't see because our line of sight is terrible. And they're going to hit them. So they're just going to jump right out and just take the lane. They're like, screw it, making a decision, going out. We're too close. I don't like this. So what I'm doing, and I know it's kind of slow moving right now, is I am going to slow down as much as I possibly can to where it's safe. I'm looking into my mirrors. Nobody's going to hit me. I am putting myself in a new position for safety because I located this as a hazardous situation. This is a relevant threat because now we're just in traffic, not moving, and we have to navigate something. So I am slowing down. Hurry up and get in, get out of here, go, go, go. Or if I see that they're going to go back in their lane, which is what happens, and we're gonna go and see that right now. As soon as I see that, I'm accelerating. I'm accelerating, not like that, not that far. I'm accelerating to get myself out of here. There is an intersection coming up, so all I'm doing is I'm accelerating to this point until I'm in front of him, and then I'm rolling off the throttle. So acceleration, deceleration. Prepare for that body weight transfer, because I am prepping now for this intersection coming up, and I don't want to get too close to this vehicle or this vehicle. So I'm just trying to accelerate. That's a little too much. I'm going to try to accelerate to here, and then I start to slow it down just a little bit up here. That's what I'd be doing. All right, guys.